because I don't know if you noticed, Italy is split into two parts. The center-right coalition got a lot of votes in the north of Italy, and Five Star Movement got a lot of votes in the southern regions of Italy. And they're probably not willing to keep up the power, the central figures of a government to the other parties. From my point of view, in the north of Italy especially, there's a lot of anger. And as the professor said before, I cannot speak from a legal point of view, a legal perspective, because I'm just a student and I'm studying at this moment these kind of things. But I can speak from just an Italian citizen point of view. A lot of my of people in Italy are have a lot of anger towards the different, the foreign people, and wherever they come from, and so they voted like high percentage during the last election voted for center right or far right parties, because, for example, the League, the Northern League, present itself as just a right party, but honestly it's more than that, way more than that. And so probably yes, if they will ever get to govern Italy, they will change a lot of things, a lot of policies towards, for example, immigration, and of course the human rights and how they're provided to people who arrive in this country from, I don't know, countries where conflict happens, war happens, or human rights are violated, could experience, could have a bad experience also here in Italy, because the Italian population want like strong actions, want populist policies. They lost certain kind of values which are the base, at the core of human rights. And so yeah, probably there will be a change of perspective from a political point of view, but also from a social point of view, which in my opinion is a way worse than the political one. Because if the people support certain leaders, then those leaders are going to create or to pass certain legislations, certain laws, certain policies that are not on the same level as human rights, for example. And so yeah, like human rights in Italy get worse, get worse. Thank you.
Did it answer to your question?
Yes. Yes, please.
We have another intervention.
Hi everyone. My intervention want to add something to what my colleague just said and want to ask a further question to the professor. Okay. So, as you already said, there is no high probability, and the professor already said, that these parties that kind of won but not completely won the elections could do and make their promise come true because of the human rights and because of the international system, and because it's not possible to identify and send the migrants away as these people like to, or at least they say that they want to. Because there is this another point that we don't really get how much the Lega and the movement Five Stars think about the thing that they say, or if they just say it because they think that they can get more votes. Because especially right now in Italy, there is this spectacularization of politics, where you don't care about really the needs of the people and the needs of your nations, but you care about being re-elected the second way, another time. And so you try to making promises to the people and try to go against the party that is winning. So like the whole campaign was almost against the Democratic Party that was for the last years. Meanwhile, was not completely in charge of the whole parliament because also it has only 35% in the last parliament, I guess, around that number. And so we don't really know if they really want to make this thing that they say against the migrants come true or not. But what they really want, or what they really say that they want, is to go away from the European Union, and they're against the idea of Europe. And because they say that the laws restrict the power of our nation, and meanwhile it's really certain the position of the Lega and of Salvini, which I wanted to say my opinion, but I will not. Which unfortunately could be really our next prime minister. It's really to go away from Europe. The party get more votes was these five-star movements, which opinions are not really clear, but seems they are against Europe. So my question is, since the majority of our parliament seems to be against the concept of the European Union, could it be and affect the permanence of Italy in Europe and could influence the laws with migrants and the Dublin treaties? That's something that it's been already discussed in the Parliament, in the European Parliament, but we don't know what could happen.
Well, I'm a rather optimistic person, and I cannot see any exit for Italy any soon. I mean, I'm not worried about the possibility of future Italian governments deciding to do what the British have done. I don't think this is, I might get it wrong, but I don't think this is going to happen. Because I mean, the movement, the Five Stars movement, it's not clear what they think about the European Union, because one day they say they want to get out, and another day they say something different. So it's not really clear their position. The same is for many things, migration included. And even Salvini has not clearly stated we want to get out from the European Union. What he has stated it's rather that they want to change certain rules of the European Union system. So I don't foresee the possibility of Italy getting out, also because it would be and I really don't, even imagining a referendum, I don't see it, but then I might get it wrong. Okay, as far as the national laws on migration, surely the position, the fact that you have a right-wing government, whether we are going to have it or not, we don't know, because as you said, the situation is really, as your colleague was saying, the situation is really uncertain at the moment. Surely there could be differences. But you could never be in Italy, as any other state, could never be in the position of adopting a national law which is in clear violation of human rights standards. I don't expect it to be possible. Although, I have to say, this happens because, for example, as you know, the agreements reached by the Italian government the existing Italian government, even though it's the former from a political point of view, but with Libya about the how do you say, the stopping of the incoming flux of migrants from the Libyan coasts is in fact an agreement done in violation of certain human rights rules. So it is, unfortunately, it is possible for national legislation to be in contrast with the existing obligations under international law. So yes, it could be possible for a right-wing government to adopt rules which will increase the distance between national legislation and international rules. This, of course, will expose Italy to, for example, to be condemned by international courts and international organs on human rights protection. But unfortunately, the problem with international law system is that the enforcement mechanism is not working. This is why it's so easy under brackets to violate international law. Do you have any questions? More questions on your side?
Yes, there's one.
Buongiorno a tutti, buon pomeriggio. Okay, I just wanna ask a question, not about politics, but about criminal organization and the violation of human rights in respect of the kind of trafficking of human rights behind the 'Ndrangheta, and we saw as much as in Mafia Capital of Italy. So it's not as far as we think that the human rights are violated even in the capital, and the judiciary body does not recognize that. So how could we pretend to respect human rights without even seeing what's happening behind it? Not what's happening with our government, but what's happening behind our government, what's happening with our territory, and how much the criminal organization earn from the trafficking of human lives. That is actually a thing in Italy.
Any comments here in the room? No? Will I go first? Okay, there is no doubt that criminal organizations play a huge role in Italy. Okay, and I mean, it cannot be denied. And certainly, the fact that those criminal organizations have a hold over the territory, not only in the south,